Hey guys, welcome back today for another video. Today's video is going to be my makeup inventory. Alright, so I'm super excited to go over this today, mostly because of all the decluttering I've been doing, and also it's just really fun to see like how your collection has changed over time. I still don't really have much of a voice, that's not too bothersome, but anyway, let's just jump into the numbers. Okay, so the last time I did this was March 2021, right before my son was born, and now it's December 2021, so let's see where we stand. I just have my computer over here so I can double check everything. But in March I had 5 primers and now I have 2, and I think 2 is a great number of primers for me. I have like a more hydrating one and then like a pore filling one, and I feel like I really like the priming step, so I like trying primers, but I think 2 was just like a solid number. Okay, for foundations, I used to have 10 foundations, which seems like so many, but this year like I really loved complexion products and like face products, so that's like definitely foundation, and I still love trying new foundations. Like it's definitely one of my favorite products. But right now I currently have 2 foundations, so to go from 10 to 2, that's like a really big jump. As much as I love trying foundations, like I really do only have one face, and like I don't put makeup on every day, so I wouldn't mind having a few more foundations, but I think 2 is like a decent number. So next on my list was foundation mixers, and I haven't had a foundation mixer for a really long time, so I still currently have 0. Next is concealers. I had 7 in March and now I have 5, and a concealer is another one of those products where I really like it because it's a complexion product, so you can use it almost like foundation all over your face. Like you might use different concealers differently, so they're a little bit more flexible than foundations in my opinion, and because the bottles are smaller, I think I like justify buying them more frequently. So I do think 5 is a lot. I think 4 would probably be a better number for me, but I don't have a one that I want to declutter at the moment, so 5 it is. Sprays, I had 2 and now I have 1, and I'm still on the hunt for like a more clean natural spray that I really like. There's actually like not that many options for that type of product, and the one that I have is like the Herbivore Rose spray. It's not technically a makeup setting spray, but I still like spraying something on my face, so I don't know. Trying to figure that out. Alright, so next up is powders, and I used to have 5 powders, like 5 loose powders, which is a lot for someone who didn't use loose powder like at all. Right now I have 1, and it's the crunchy powder, and I like it. It's okay. Just don't really use loose powder that much, but I'm going to be keeping it for a while. And then for pressed powders, I had 2 and I currently have 2. One of them is in my Ulta order that hasn't arrived here yet, and it's the Well People brightening powder. I've been really looking for like a brightening powder for like under my eyes, so I'm hoping that powder performs really well. And the other one I have is the Kosas powder, which I like it. I don't love it. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. I think because it's like baked, I don't like it as much for like an all over setting powder. I'm still like testing it out and trying it, so we'll see how that changes. But yeah, those are my 2 powders. And then for mascaras, I used to have 12 mascaras, and that was so many, probably because I was like hoarding backups, but like I don't know, I feel like mascara is a step that I love mascara because I feel like it fills in my eyes a lot, but I skip it a lot because it's a lot of work and it doesn't always make my eyes feel great. But I've switched to like the RMS beauty mascara, so I have 1 open one and 1 backup, so I currently have 2 of the same mascara, and that's a great number for me. I don't think you need to like hold on to a ton of mascaras like I do. I love the Bad Gal Bang mascara, so I just would love to find like another cleaner product like that. But yeah, that's like, I think just having 1 or 2 mascaras is like the perfect number for me personally. Eyeshadow primers, I have a concealer slash primer, eyeshadow primer. I put 0 because I counted it in the concealers, but it's the crunchy one. Eyeliners, I currently have 0 eyeliners, and same with gel eyeliners. I used to have just 2 eyeliners. So single eyeshadows, I used to have nine, and now I have one. It's the Auric one. I think it's really beautiful. And then liquid eyeshadows, I used to have one, and now I have 0. Glitters, I have 0. I don't ever really wear glitters, so I don't really know. I used to have like 18 of them. Blushes, I used to have 16, and now I have 7. And 7 is still quite a bit of blush. But I love blush. It's like also one of my favorite makeup products. So I feel like everything is my favorite, but blush, I don't know, I love blush. But yeah, I have really fallen in love with the RMS Beauty blush formula. I'm wearing the shade Moon Cry today. I'm not wearing any bronzer, just like blush and highlight, and I think it's so pretty. It's like, I don't know, I just love it. Especially for winter because it's a bit of a deeper blush. And then cream and liquid blushes, I used to have 5 and I currently have 1, which is the Rare Beauty one. And then liquid highlighters, I used to have 3, but now I have 0. Liquid highlighter is a product I like. Just, I feel like my fantasy self really wanted to love and use liquid highlighter, but like me personally, it was not something I really used and reached for. Like, it just is more of a high maintenance step, I guess, in my opinion. And then I added a new category on here, which is lip tints, because I've just been loving lip tints instead of like traditional lipstick or something. So I had 0 and now I have 7. And then I used to have 15 bullet lipsticks, but you guys, when I started counting this, I had 81. 81 bullet lipsticks. Like, that's crazy for like a person who never wore lipstick. So yeah, now I have 2, and that's like, I have the mini RMS one that I haven't even tried yet, and then another one is coming. It was a free gift with purchase in my Ulta order, so again, haven't tried that yet either. Lip liners, I currently have 2. I used to have 11. I also love lip liner. It's a step I really like in my makeup routine, and it's kind of harder to find like good ingredient lip liners. I'm currently using 2 Lawless ones, and I think they're okay. They're really creamy in my opinion, so they're not like my perfect opinion. Not my perfect lip liner, but I do like them. And then for lip glosses, I used to have 10 and now I have 2. 2 lip glosses is great for me. Liquid lipsticks, I used to have 10 and I actually have 0 now. But again, when I first started this with liquid lipsticks, I had 89 liquid lipsticks. That's insane, like actually insane. Like, how did I have 89 liquid lipsticks? Okay, and then bronzers, I used to have 4 and now I have 5. Again, 2 are on their way. I'm still trying to find a bronzer that I like really like. Right now I have the River bronzer and then 2 Hellllllo bronzers, and I don't like hate either of them, any of them, but they're just not like the perfect tone for me. I like a slightly cooler bronzer instead of like a warmer bronzer, which is like a little bit more challenging to find at this moment. And then brow product, I currently have 2. I used to have 3, now I have 2. I just use the pencil for my brows currently, and that's fine. In the eyeshadow palettes, in March I had 36 eyeshadow palettes. Now I have 8, and they're mostly mini palettes. And I honestly love having a smaller eyeshadow palette collection. I feel like my most recent eyeshadow palette declutter got not as many likes as they normally do. I feel like people were a little bit offended by how much I got rid of. I just, as much as I love makeup, I think I love having a smaller collection more, because I can love each individual item more and I can use it. And it's like having like stricter ingredient standards makes it easier to say no to things that I would normally say yes to. And that doesn't necessarily mean that like every single thing I use is gonna be like perfectly clean. Like, it's not. Like, I'm still debating if I want to buy the mini Natasha Denona Biba palette, because I love her mini palettes like a lot. And if that's like the one, like the worst thing I'm using in my makeup routine, like to me that's great. So yeah, I am really happy with my 8 palettes right now. They each fill a space that I need filled in my eyeshadow loving heart. And then the last thing on my list is face palettes, and I used to have 10, which is so many face palettes, and now I have 1, and it's just my MAC highlighter trio palette. But like today I'm wearing the RMS Beauty Mascara, highlighter, and I can like see it insanely reflecting in the viewfinder. And so like I'm pretty sure I don't really need that MAC palette anymore, because I was keeping that for like a more beaming highlight, but this is really intense. So yeah, maybe I don't need that anymore. It's getting really old actually. It's like a couple years old at this point. But from in March, when I last totaled up all my makeup items, I had 197 items, and as of today, including everything that I have like on the way to me in the mail, I have 54 items in my makeup collection, and I am really so pleased with that. I feel like when I started really getting into makeup, like it was like when the chocolate bar palettes were huge and Kathleen Lights was making videos 3 times a week, and just everything was so new and exciting. It was like really before makeup companies were like pumping out products like constantly. Like it was back when we, like Anastasia would put out like a few palettes a year, and like every palette was so exciting, instead of literally pumping out a new palette every week. Like that's not sustainable for us as consumers to like continuously buy and not use these palettes. Like I'm not saying not to love makeup, like I still love makeup and I enjoy makeup, but it's like in this time of my life I'm not doing crazy makeup looks. Like I used to wear like purple eyeshadow like out, which is fine, but like I just don't have the time to do that anymore. Like most days it's just like a really simple makeup, and that's just where I'm at in my life. Like if you're in a different place, like I am so happy for you, because I love those days of my life. But it's just like I think that the over consumerism of things is really stressful for me as a person, and like to have so many things in my house that I'm not using constantly is like a little stressful. So anyway, I just really love coming on here. I love watching makeup inventories. I think they're really fascinating. And at the height of my makeup collection, when I first started taking inventory, was January 2019, actually right before my first son was born, and I had 476 makeup products. So that really just goes to show you like how much my habits and personal makeup use has changed throughout the years. Like it's almost 3 years later, and I've gone from 476 to 54, and I could probably cut that down even more, but I think just around 50 products gives me like room for really good staple products, lots of new products to try, products I'm finishing up, while like not being so wasteful. So yeah, like in terms of money and product. But anyway, I hope this was interesting to you. Thank you for watching. I love chatting about makeup with you guys, and thank you for supporting my channel, and I will see you again soon. Bye.